Jack and Jill here.
Hi, everyone. Oh,
Let us
that sounded terrible.
let us know you can hear us okay, and we'll start the program.
I am. Oh, good.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Good.
I'm getting over
Jill's
whatever this is. I don't know what it is.
suffering through a cold.
It's hilarious. So, thank you.
We're going to jump right into it because that seems to be the question. The first question here seems to be the big question on everybody's mind about TitleMind, which launched yesterday. Go ahead, Jill.
Oh, you're letting me answer it?
No, I'll answer it if you
Yeah.
want. If you want to read the
Oh,
question.
sorry. Okay, got it. All right. So, JT is asking, with the $550 fee for using TitleMind, does that include both ends of a double escrow or just the front end where I, the investor, purchase the property from the original seller? Jack, you want to answer?
Yeah. So this is a great question, and it's causing a substantial amount of confusion as of yesterday morning. So Jill and I are going to. What we're going to do is it did not originally intend. We did not intend that. We intended to add a dual escrow component to it afterward. Um, but what you all need to understand is that the fees are the same. So the notary charge is the same. The mail is the same. It's all the same. The only thing that doesn't change is the title policy, and the escrow product doesn't involve that expense and that anyway. So what I'd really like to hear from all of you is what you'd like. What kind of escrow product and what would it include, and how would you price it if you're interested? If you can type it in the chat box, that'd be great.
Yeah, so that's the big thing is we're trying to take the work off from you.
Right.
And we thought we did that with having this price where it includes a notary, which by the way, you know, all of that stuff in that flat fee. So if you went and looked at the steps, it spelled out all that was included. So we thought that would make it easier for everybody.
So I'll make it incredibly clear on a pricing page what it includes and exactly how to do it, what you get, the documents that you get. But there are several people that are using the product that are extremely happy just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to make, like Jill just said, we want to make this a product that everybody's happy using. It's priced fairly, and it's working. You're getting the documents that you want.
Our initial customers so far are the people who are buying properties, you know, $4,000 or $5,000, and they're not doing the work themselves.
That's right.
They're happy to say, "Here's my purchase agreement I got in the mail. Um, I did my 5 minutes of research. You guys close this for me." And we like, great, done. And we take it and do it all the way to the end. So that's what it's perfect for. When you just submit that to us, we contact the seller, we're arranging the signing. All you're doing is getting the cashier's check even to us.
And
And
that's it.
that's it. And even that, we send you a shipping label with the price included in
Right.
that you just have to print out the shipping label and go get them. So basically, you go in and upload the document information and the purchase agreement if you have it, just to give an example. And then we confirm some things on our end, reach back out to you and say, all right, we're ready to go. We emailed you the shipping label. You just need to overnight to us that cashier's check and we'll get it done. And that's it.
And I'll at great length explain it either in a video or in text, or probably both on the website.
Mm-hmm.
We designed the product the way that we would use it because we check all of our own stuff out anyway. But the real work is scheduling a notary, doing the document deed itself, and all of that. So
And the recording, following it all the way through the process, all that good stuff. So, yep.
and then when we re-release we're going to leave it alone now, but we will re-release it within the next 2 days with a dual escrow product, and then in a transaction, like I said here on the sheet, a deal quality review product where we pull the lien report, we pull the vesting deed, we give you our basic opinion, and you'll obviously sign a waiver. But would we do this deal or wouldn't we not do this deal? And that'll be for some number, probably like $100 to just check that all out. And then if you want to proceed with the deal, you can proceed with it, and we'll knock that off the price of the escrow product. We'll make it really simple. I oversimplified this for a bunch of reasons, and I think what it did was cause a lot of questions. So we'll make it a product in the end that everybody needs and wants to use and sees the value in.
Okay.
Does that answer it, Jill, you think?
Well, there's more questions. You want to get to all the TitleMind ones now before we do the other questions?
We can take them in order and
Okay.
break it up.
Okay. So JT's next question asks, is there a tutorial anywhere that you know of on how to find the chain of title information in Title Pro 24/7? And the answer is yes, I made one. Also, are there
It's on YouTube, right?
are there other resources for silver members this research chain of title? I did this, JT, right when we got Title Pro 24/7. So, gosh, when was that? I don't know how many was it, a year
If you
ago?
go to our YouTube
I'm
channel,
trying to remember.
just type Land Academy on YouTube, you'll see Jill's lean, how to research lean.
Yeah, and I went in showing all the documents and how to put it, how to when you put it on the property, what pops up, and you can click through and even like mortgage documents. I mean, all the deeds, all the mortgage documents, any liens. I mean, it's all on there. I personally made it because I thought it was so darn cool that I could do this in minutes, and be staring at it. So the answer is yes. It's there. Good question. JT also asked, he's doing a bunch of deals here. This is awesome.
Yeah,
What is the name of the book on Arizona tax liens that Jack has spoken about in the past?
I'll put it on the screen.
Okay.
You can go to the next question. Then it's called something about persecution and something. It's by Mark Manoil, the name of the lawyer who wrote the book.
Cool. Michael's asking about switching from core logic to data tree. And if we switch to data tree, do we need Title Pro 24/7? Well, number one, I want to say that I use all three just to be on the safe side. And I double check different things. And every now and then, like when we only had, CoreLogic, we only had RealQuest Pro, and then we had Title Pro every once in a blue moon, but it would happen now and then. If I couldn't find documents in one, I could find them in the other.
Yeah.
So it's great having two. Now I've added a third layer, which is awesome. And at the moment, Jack, you can kick me under the table if you want, but
No,
I think that we're saying data tree is going to be gold.
no, it is going to be gold.
Okay.
But the price of gold will not be the same.
Right.
It'll go down.
Right. What you see for gold is not going to be the end price right now, but it will be more than the 250 a month, but it will include data tree and it will include other things as well, right, Jack?
Yeah, my ton
Oh,
of
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's what's going on. And so at that point too, so what will happen is you'll just have them all. You'll still have data tree. And honestly, I still use and love Title Pro 24/7. So
I use data tree for certain stuff, and I use RealQuest for certain stuff,
mhm,
and for lien reports and title and all that, I don't honestly handle that in our office. Other people do, but they seem to use Title Pro
mhm,
more than the other two.
exactly. Yep.
There's a value. Long story short, there's a value for there's a value in having all three, and it doesn't cost you. It's not going to really cost you anymore because of the other stuff that's coming with it. So it's hard to explain because we haven't released it, and quite honestly, Jill and I have not made all those decisions yet.
Right. Kevin asks, here's a ton of mine input. Oh, this is good. Do you need a signed purchase agreement? PA, or can I just send the details of the deal after I talk to the seller? Absolutely, just send the details of the seller. If you
Yeah.
have it and it's whatever's easiest for you, Kevin. We don't care. It doesn't matter because the team will, call and verify, and you're going to tell us I agreed on X amount of dollars with that guy. Here's all his information, and we'll take it from there. And you're not going to, we trust what you say, and we'll make it happen. So we don't need it in writing. It's all good. And then Marilyn's asking if TitleMind will also verify liens.
Yes.
So yeah.
And I was not clear about that, so the answer is yes.
Okay.
What we will do is provide the actual lien report to you. So it's better than just say, hey, it's okay. You know how title companies just provide, they don't really provide any backing. They just
Right.
say, oh yeah, it's probably okay.
Got it. And is paying by credit card an option for TitleMind? I'm guessing that you're asking because you could obviously pay online to check out to pay for the
Yeah,
service.
that's available right now. If
But
you log on to TitleMind right now, you can check out, and all the stuff that we're talking about is included. It's just not that it's not super clear,
right when you go to the checkout page, that's what you do.
and
So
I take
yeah.
responsibility for that.
So all good. Okay. Hey Greg. So Greg is asking, I have a potential investor wanting to spend $500,000 on a 6-unit or more apartment complex in the Tampa, Florida area. I've just started buying land and have not purchased residential um, properties yet. I also have 7 more investors, and this is awesome.
Mhm.
They're finding you, Greg. I also have 7 more investors wanting to buy and flip houses in Florida. So I have a few questions. Should I send out a mailer specifically for what the first guy is looking for? If so, should I have a flat fee of 50 to 100K or use a different partnership structure? 2, in general, if we start sending mailers for the other investors, I'm assuming we should find out what they're looking for,
Mhm.
size, areas, price per square foot, etc., and then send out mailers with pricing based on their criteria where it looks like we'll have success based on the comps. And then 3, if, for instance, they are looking to buy $150,000 houses, should we again go with a flat
Mhm.
fee but have it be more in the $10,000 to $20,000 area? Any advice and guidance would be greatly appreciated. It's all you, Jack.
So yes is all. The answer is yes, unequivocally yes to all three. But I'll tell you this: the first deal that you structure with a buyer-specific mailer. All right, let's say you do a flat fee for $10,000. Boy, I'm telling you from experience, you're never going to be able to veer from that. You can't kind of just do it like a restaurant does. You launch a restaurant with real inexpensive prices to get everybody coming back, and then you increase the price. They have a hissy fit over that. So what I would do is I would set your price, and I would sit down with your investor. This is for houses now. The specific buyer, and say, my typical charge is X. Um, what do you say? For you, I'll do it for 15,000, maybe 20,000, and based on this, and then and we'll probably just keep it that way for quite some time. Now, you got to make sure that this person is really qualified, that they're really cash rich, and they want to do a bunch of deals with you. So it doesn't, you want to make it make sense for you. I hope that makes Joe. Is
Did you
that?
answer all 3?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Good deal.
I mean, number one, should I send a mailer out specifically for the guy who, who's looking at the answers? Yes, we talk about that all the time on the show. Number two, in general, if we start sending mailers for other investors, based on their criteria, where it looks like we'll have success based on comparison values. I'm not sure I understand that question, Jill. Do you?
Success based on the comps. Based on the comps, yes. And then, for instance, if I'm looking at buying, should we go with a flat fee but have it more in the 10? I'm guessing, Greg, are you asking about your fees or what you're getting out of it? I guess the big picture for me is I would only send it for exactly what they want, price it where I'm going to get a good piece, whatever I want out of it. That's really it. Just work it backwards.
I personally have never sent out a mailer for houses where we haven't really, we're just filling orders for one group. I don't think pitting each investor against each other is going to really work out in the short or the long term. If that's what that's getting at, I'm not sure.
Oh, that's a good point too. Yeah, I'm hoping it's just 2 separate things. So, yep. Okay, cool. Michael's asking, is gold membership available now?
We can make it available for you, Michael. If you want to be an early adapter, email me. If that goes for anybody else, all the products are not yet available. Where, for instance, list source, which I'm going back and forth on, as a viable housing. I never use it. Really track I use once in a while, but list source, we're still going back and forth on that. But Michael, if you're interested in data tree for that price, um, I can make that happen for you. So just let me know at Jack at Land Investors. Anybody else for that matter. I'll put a special thing together for you.
Okay. JT's asking, so to clarify, with TitleMind, we have to wait a few days before we can submit our order if we want to do a double close for the same price.
If you would like to do a double close, go ahead and submit the order for in the next 2 days. All right. So this is Thursday, and by close of business on Friday, Pacific time, and we will do a dual escrow for you. And that goes for anybody who's listening.
Wow.
For that price.
Is that like a special introductory hurry up?
Yep.
Well, wait, do they have to have the buyer and the seller all lined up and we'll do the whole thing?
No. And
Like,
let me be real
we'll just
specific.
please explain what we're please explain so my staff and I know exactly what you're promising the planet, and so we can be prepared.
I should have explained this better.
Yes,
if you go on an O2O, you understand everything right away, but on offers to owners. But TitleMind was not I assumed incorrectly that everybody was in the boat that we're in, where we just turn a lot of
You
deals.
know, my ESP is usually pretty good, Jack, but not right now.
Usually I'm trying to read Jill's mind, not the other way
Yeah, I'm
around.
trying to read your mind. We all are.
If you submit an order, we need to know who the buyer and the seller are. You're typically the buyer. You already have the seller lined up. If you have the seller of the property from which you are purchasing it, right, the first deal, we need to know, we can't just keep these deals open forever. So if you have the the new buyer lined up, even better, we will honor that deal. And even if you don't, we'll honor, we'll keep it open. Does that make sense, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
It's two closings. It's a dual close.
Mm-hmm.
Which in the end, that's what we all do here. We don't really an end user is not going to come to TitleMind to close a deal.
Exactly.
So it's not going to be that price forever.
Okay.
You can go ahead on this mining claim deal. Say, okay, Joe.
Okay. So Jake Morris has a question here, and Jack's going to look this up. Jake, about this deal. So I'm guessing, Jake, I wonder if this is one of your first mailers that you're getting some traction on. So cool. And while you're looking that up, I'm going to give a
What's
little.
the question?
It's right there. Would
But
you purchase this 10 acres?
I know, but the callers, the listeners don't know Can you read the question?
Okay. Jake Moore, well, they can see it now, but yes. Jake Morris is asking if we'd purchase these 10-acre properties with this APN. Oh, you know what? The only thing is I don't have the county. It's a mining claim, includes the surface land. How do I go about this? So if he wants to look it up, Jake, we got to have the county and state.
The state county.
I'm guessing that's I wonder if that's like a New Mexico.
Looks like it.
Owner's number is
Might
what
be
it
an
looks
owner
like.
number, yeah.
Yeah.
Please make sure that the APN, the number one question that we get company-wide of all the websites and companies that we have is, why can't I get my APN to work on ParcelFact? And the number one answer company-wide is because that's not the APN.
Exactly.
It's the owner number or the.
And sometimes too, you don't realize it, but maybe it has an extra. Somebody always drops a zero, or they're at a zero. There's always something, if you play with it a little bit, it's usually something simple like that too. Right. So, all right, we'll get him to add that in here so we can look it up. So thank you, Matt Rogers, for adding this awesome thing. 5 weeks since first mailer hit, and so far I've purchased 3 properties, sold 1, and have another 2 to 3 to purchase in the pipeline, all in one county. With only $5,000 in initial acquisition funds, should I just lock up these other deals and look for deal partners?
Yeah.
These are smaller deals, $2,000 to $4,000 per purchase. I already tripled my money on my first sale, and I anticipate double to triple on each sale. Yep.
Yes, there's lots of money people lurking on landinvestors.com, and I would absolutely do what you just said.
Yep.
We answered. So Jill and I recorded our next week's podcast this morning, and Matt was at least one of the questions we answered was from him.
Was it this Matt?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Good. Yep, totally. And you know what? You know where to find him, Matt. When you want a deal partner, and you have plenty right here on this phone call, and they're on the deal board in the back of for the pro folks, on the landinvestors.com site.
Thomas asks if Jill has the flu in the chat. She has what I call demimoritis.
I started smoking. Just kidding.
Wouldn't that be
awful? No, I have never, nor will I ever.
Wouldn't it be funny if
oh my gosh,
we just called all the kids and said, you know what, we changed our mind. It's actually really okay to smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, we're never going to do it ourselves. Yeah, exactly. So
they would call the police.
Funny, I know. And you know what, Kyria? I got them, but I haven't. They were sent to me through my team, but I haven't looked at them yet. So I will look at the photos of Rowdy in his various offices. And now you got my interest going there. This is awesome.
So Dan said in the chat, based on Matt's, can you see that, Joe?
What is
based
it?
on Matt's question, he said,
oh, there you go.
This is Solar Panel Dan. He said, Matt, email me at my email address and I will fund you.
There you go. Right there.
That's how easy it is.
That's how easy it is to find someone.
If it's a good deal, though.
Exactly.
You can't just slap deals around.
Right.
So I put this poll up,
mm-hmm.
and 26% of the people said no. I'm not going to close your deal for this. They just said no. Would you use my staff to close your deals for $550? Includes all the costs. So the people who have said no, I would love to know why. Is it price? Or is it like, I just don't, I'll do it myself? I'd love to know why.
Mhm. Are you answering?
Well, I'm hoping you can type in whoever you are, just type in the chat, and I would just love to know why. Maybe you only buy title insurance property,
Got it.
and we'll release that product soon.
Cool.
I don't know if the whole world can see the poll.
We can't. No, that's why I'm
Oh,
asking you. I can't see what you're talking, what you're
so
saying.
I obviously
Again, again, I'm trying to read your mind, Jack. and I'm failing. Yeah.
so I asked, well, they can see the poll if they answered it. But anyway, what I asked was, would you use our staff, our escrow service, to close your deals for about $550? Includes all costs, notary, e-recording, postage, lien reports, vesting deed, etc. All costs. And 25% of the people said
Oh, yeah.
no.
Well,
The rest said yes.
Kyler's right. See, Kyler, you're exactly right. 550 is steep. That's exactly right. If you're doing it, if it's
Okay.
$1,000 deal, totally what we were planning on. But when you're doing a $5,000 deal, now you're like, great, I don't have to think about it.
Right.
And again, think about your costs. For a moment, let's all take a step back for a moment.
What is a cost in
Let's
that?
think about
Go
these
ahead.
costs for a moment. Okay. Number one, I mean, I'll just get to the basic ones. We got a notary. I got to track down a notary. I got to do that. I got postage to the notary, postage back to me, postage to the recorder, all that good stuff.
Unless it's e-recording, but then there's fees for
But
that.
then there's even fees for that. And
And
then
then
I
there's
got to the document, some of the extra little things that go in there too.
the recording fee itself. That includes our fee includes that, as
Exactly.
well as the
The
transfer
postage,
tax if
the
it's
notary,
in certain states.
the 18 phone calls lining it all up. Yes, Mr. Smith, are you there that day? Okay, the notary's coming that day. And coordinating it all.
The lien report costs money.
Hmm. So if you sit in, I mean, that was my thing when I did this too. And on $1,000 deal, I mean, unless I build that into the deal, I mean, that's something I thought about too. We used to have a $399 doc prep fee, and I've seen $500 doc prep fees that
Mm-hmm.
people roll into their transactions. And if you're selling a $10,000 property and you tell the seller that there's a $500 doc prep fee, that's not crazy.
Right.
So if you want to do that, I
This
mean,
is not meant for $1,000 deal. Even
no,
at $350, it doesn't make sense on $1,000 deal.
right. But yeah, so that's the whole thing. But a couple $1,000 deal, totally. Okay. You know what? Thank you, Tomas. This is my biggie too. When I really sat, man, would I spend for this back in the day so I could just hand it to somebody and walk away? Heck yeah. And Tomas just said that when you think about all the time it takes,
Mm-hmm.
it is a lot of time. He's like 5 hours per deal, and $100 is $500. That's worth it.
Marilyn
So,
asks, you can say answer that. You can say yes to that on the bottom question, Jill, so everyone can see it. Answer live.
okay.
Marilyn asks, does a 550 include multiple parcel purchases from the same seller? And I'll
Hmm.
add in the same county, and the answer is yes.
Exactly. Yep. Okay. Let's see here.
Again, I should be clear about it on the site.
This is good. This is why we're fine. This is why we're doing this
Yeah.
and getting all these answers. So, all right. Bob asks, do you sell land using a warranty deed or special warranty deed or a combination depending on the sales price? Any issues with always using a warranty deed? We've covered this a bit, and it's actually, there's a lot of it on the landinvestors.com online community about it. So do you want to,
Go ahead, Jill.
okay, so in 30 seconds or less, um, a warranty deed is you guaranteeing it. If you sell on a warranty deed, you're guaranteeing the property back to the beginning of time, basically. You don't want to do that. I'm just giving you the basics here. A special warranty deed is me guaranteeing the property only for the time that I owned it. It could have been 1 month, it could have been 1 week. I'm not going back to 1895 with a special warranty deed. But a warranty deed, you kind of are. So that's the thing. So we really use special warranty deeds. My goal is to buy on a warranty deed and then sell on a special warranty deed. And like I said, there's lots more information on that in our online community. And thanks
And
for
make sure,
asking.
a lot of times, certain states like Nevada, they make you use a grant deed.
Right. There's other deeds you can't always do the same depending on the state. It's true. Rod Hall asks, I would like to see the chain of title documentation, like electronic signatures and paper if necessary, because some counties require inked signatures. Live
Mm-hmm.
customer service.
Right.
We have that. Some way to follow the status, like email and know when the buyer or seller has a deal. The deed. We have that. Tracking. We have that. County has a lot
Yeah.
of stuff like this before.
Again,
This is stuff that we're doing, Rod, and thank you for throwing that in there because that's part of what the service provides.
we have a version of Pizza Tracker for the service we provide, and again, that needs to be made clear
Yeah.
so you can see, everybody can see it, even including the notary, the buyer, the seller, and our agents can see the transaction happening.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know what Pizza Tracker is, shame on you. It's the greatest thing there ever was. Order a pizza from Domino's and use Pizza Tracker online,
Mm-hmm.
even if you throw the pizza away. It's really cool.
Exactly. Kyler asks, Jack, can you quickly run through how to gather the data for all the properties in a radius of a certain point? I remember you doing it on a call before, maybe in Redfin. On Redfin, thanks. I have a question, real quick about this because we were just doing this for Kyler. Jen was just doing this for Jen and Yanni for a full service customer the other day
Mm-hmm.
because it is so darn easy. Let me tell you, to put a pin and go out and get the closest like 60, 80, 100, 600, whatever it is, properties on a radius in data tree is what they were using it for.
Yeah,
Because
Data
a
Tree's
full
super cool
service
about that.
person said, I really want to send a targeted mail to the people right around this property. So if it's that kind of a thing, because you're pulling in the addresses, data tree rocks.
I'll do it on Redfin just so you can see it because
Okay,
it's
cool.
really fun.
Cool. While you're pulling that, Christian is asking, any updates on the house flipping class? I'm trying to work through pricing my first offer campaign on multifamilies, and I'm struggling. Jack.
Do we have an update on it? It's the same as it's always been. We will release the details of it on very early January 2018, and the classes will commence almost immediately afterwards. So we plan on, if everything goes well, to release the whole program and the schedule and all of it in very early January 18. Right now, we're just trying to get through things like TitleMind.
Hey Jack, can we promise that in one spot, it used to be under the resources page, now maybe on land investors, that we'll just keep updates there so they don't.
Yeah.
I know it's annoying for you to keep asking
really
us
is.
too. So how about this? Jack and I are going to commit to being
There's a
better
spot on
at
land.
updating on land investors.
Yeah, there's a spot there.
Okay. Like Jill, I'll tell you right now, Jill Live, right now it says December 14th, which is a month from now. And I don't know if that's going to happen on that time. So we'll get real good at updating those. Is that good, Jack?
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you. And then my staff right now is going, ah, oh, thank goodness.
I know.
So because I know it gets annoying for you to ask, and my people to keep answering the same thing over and over again. So I get it.
The vast majority of the questions like that are on land investors right now.
Cool.
In fact, I know the live education is. I'm almost sure.
Cool. All right, we're going to pause while you show us, Jack.
I'm trying to find it. I don't remember where it is.
Do you want me to keep going a minute?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll find it.
Okay.
There's a radius feature.
Okay. Callie asks, is there a transaction dollar limit with TitleMind? No? Whatever, because the initial product is we are basically completing your transactions is phase one. So whatever comfortable check.
Here's how I would draw it for jail.
Oh, that's so sweet. He's drawing a heart on a map.
And there's all the dirt right in
there. There you go. Okay, so there's the properties in a radius. I think hopefully that's answering it for you, Kyler. So you just where's the draw? Oh, at the bottom right.
This is only land in Riverside.
When you're pulling it up, there's a draw feature. There's a button on.
Right
there's
here.
a thing on the bottom right. It says draw, and then you could remove the outline, make a new one.
This is just land.
Right.
Can you believe there's like infill lots right in downtown Riverside?
I know.
I'm shocked about that.
There you go. That's how you do it. That's awesome. Okay.
Look at that.
But no, Callie, there is no dollar limit with TitleMind. Thank you. Good question. Luke is asking, could you add a little feature like CoreLogic has to figure out the APM format for that county and state?
Yeah, so did we ever complete that project? I had some people, our virtual assistants, do a spreadsheet for every single county and what the format is. I will make that available shortly here. In fact, I know I could pull it up right now. But I'll tell you right now, there's going to be still some input issues. The APNs in certain places are really, really tricky. And it's not a lot of times it's not even us or not even you when you input it. It's how the assessor has it downloaded up through RealQuest. So The answer is yes. I will put the APN formatting on. You know how we have a table for all the back tax lists in the whole country for every county? It's tens of thousands of lines of data on Land Academy. Well, I'll do that on Parcel Fact with the same with the 3,400 counties and their APN schemes.
Actually, Jack, I'm making a note of it right now to make sure that gets done because I know what you're talking about,
The
right?
raw data's done. I spent the money on that VA
And we can help with
to get
that.
it all done.
Okay, cool.
And I lined it up with a real example so to confirm it.
I like that. Yeah, because we have that list. So that'd be awesome. All right. Greg is asking, when you send out mailers for SFR and apartment condo type properties, do you only work with cash investors or do you work with investors who use leverage as well?
Greg, it's a great question. I personally only work with people who have A, the cash themselves, or B, have one way to get investors is to call heavily advertised hard money lenders in the area. Hard money lenders have lots and lots of people in their Rolodex, so to speak, that have cash or that they lend to that they like or they don't like, and they have deals. So, try to avoid sending a deal to a hard money lender because they will screw it up for you. But if they've got a good relationship with a hard money lender who's now lending, hard money lenders usually will lend for the first two or three or five deals for an investor. They'll lend like 60% loan to value, 80%. And then as they get to know each other and they realize that that person is the flipper, the renovator is in that business for real, they'll start to fund 100% of the deals a lot of times. The ones that are using their own money, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I don't care. I will use somebody who's using hard money if they, and but you need to speak with them first. But if they're going to go get a mortgage, hell no. There's no way.
Steve K
I'll
asks,
say hell no again to that. Mortgages screw everything up.
got it. Thank you for not saying marriages. Just kind of to throw that in there. Thank you. So, all right. So,
You said that, didn't you?
I know I did. I noticed you didn't. You did. You usually you follow up with that. So that's where my mind went.
Has everybody on this call detecting Jill's lack of patience today? That's
No,
funny.
Thursdays are my favorite days because I get to work so closely with you, Jack. Oh, just kidding.
See what I mean?
We're doing some big projects right
I
now, and
know.
it's awesome. It's
Well,
awesome and crazy at the same time.
launching companies and laughing is good.
It is laughing.
It's
It's
better than
good.
crying.
We're gonna go to a comedy thing tonight with some friends and really laugh. I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
that. Okay, so Steve K asks, can a set amount be sent into TitleMind that's enough to close multiple transactions, say $25,000, that is then drawn down for each closing? Instead of, say, 10 $2,500 transactions and then sending in a smaller amount for
Yeah.
each closing.
The answer is yes.
So wait, we're going to hold the funds for all the different transactions.
You obviously have something on your mind, Steve, which is good. I'm a deal maker too. So reach out to me specifically and we'll try to put something together for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Something is possible. Let me put it that way.
So here's what's going on right now. So Jack, being the front end guy on this site and company, is making deals, which I get it. I'm the operator here, and I'm going right now. My wheels are going. Okay, how do I put this in place? So thank you. You guys will figure that out. Okay.
There's a yin and yang between
There is.
startup people and operators. And I've historically been the startup person, and Jill's historically been the operator slash salesperson. And when you sleep in the same bed, it's interesting. There's going to be a book. There will be a book, and there will be a
Oh
book
my gosh, there'll be several books. That's awesome.
on that topic specifically.
Thank you. Thank you, Rod Hall. I like that. Let's see. Matt B asks, hey guys, I'm at work, so I've got to drop a few questions and run. Haha. I look forward to listening when it gets posted. Yes. I've been doing business in my current state of California where I started my LLC. I would like to start to do business in other states and want to see if any words of wisdom when it comes to sending mail and doing business in other states. go for it is one. So
Yeah.
some of them are easier than California. Do I need to register my company in that state? No. Is there anything to worry about from a business point of view, tax point of view, etc.? Or just go ahead and start shooting mail all around the country if I want to and let my CPA deal with the paperwork?
So this topic comes up from time to time, and you probably know by now that I have an accounting background. It's not a tax background, but I understand that stuff. And everybody seems to have a different opinion about what's appropriate. You know, 5 accountants in a room are never going to agree on anything. So you're going to have to rely on your tax person. But I'll tell you this: be prepared as we go on, as time goes on. This is getting more mucky and more mucky, and the biggest reason is that this internet sales tax situation is freaking everybody out. States are losing a lot of revenue because when you buy something on Amazon and it ships out of a different state, you don't pay tax. And so their sales tax revenue is dramatically going down in general. So they're looking for new and creative ways to find out what's happening. So I've heard lots of things like if you have an LLC in Arizona and you're buying and selling a lot of property in California, that you do have to file a state tax return. That's debatable. I don't want to sit in this format and debate it. I don't know if that's the case, but I've heard that people are having to do that. I know for sure that you don't have to get an LLC in another state to do business there. And just this last Thursday, we had a member who lives in New York, in Manhattan, who was having to answer a lot of questions about turning transactions in Minnesota, so to the Minnesota government. So I'm just saying, be aware that things are changing, and there's no real hard and fast answer, but you are asking all the right questions. Don't run out and get 50 LLCs, though. You don't need that at all.
Thank you. Matt B asks, do we need to have an account with Heartland to accept payments on LandPin? Or is it only if we want to integrate Heartland with our own website? Luke mentioned some of the fees and wait hold times on transactions when you don't have a lot of credit history. I have a Stripe account and have one deal completed. I'm debating if I should hold off on Heartland and build a history or just dive into Heartland. Thanks.
That's a good question, and it's kind of your call. I would start a history with Heartland. I think they charge you $80 a month or something, Joe, until you have an established history. And at some point, they waive the fee. All the detailed answers to that are on the Land Academy website or somewhere, or it's being developed. We have the guy
There's
at
a great FAQ that our team put together.
Yeah, where is that?
Erin's got it. So I'm gonna ask Erin if she could pipe in a little message to me or to everybody here where we can find the Heartland FAQ because I
When you click on
know
one
that.
on the buoys on all of our websites, and you just type in a lot of these questions. Oh, Brooklyn, sorry, I'm sorry, buddy. I did not mean to insult you. Sorry.
That's hilarious. That's so good. Do you know what that's like? We get like that too.
I know.
It's like I don't live in North.
There's 3 little beach
Yeah.
communities here, and they're all the size of a postage stamp, and everyone gets really heated when you make a mistake like that. So I get it, dude. I'm sorry.
So funny. Okay, wait.
Anyway, with Heartland,
Can I get? I have a direct message from Erin sent to my cell phone because we're all in different places. She said, "Get started with Heartland." I'm working with the guy, his name is Shay, on getting a checkout on LandPin, but they will still need to be with Heartland.
Yeah.
The FAQ is on our, if you go to any of our websites and on that buoy
Here,
lifesaver
I'll show you.
bottom right thing, if you search Heartland, the FAQ that I'm talking about will pop right up. Gosh, Erin, you are so good.
Those guys did that fast because
Man,
that was like yesterday. It's the buoy down here on the right.
so great. Okay, so
Just,
Jack's doing it. Will you put in Heartland? Oops.
here it's all here, right here. Credit cards.
On the down payment, full price. You know what? Yeah,
I know that for
like
sure.
there's stuff
Heartland has a
coming.
whole
Oh.
program for integrating to WordPress, which is the foundation of what LandPin's built on, and I know that they're working on applying a
It's
button.
on the Land Academy one.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Go to. She said Land Academy. It'll pop right up there, because I think it's not available on LandPin yet, so that's why it's not linked to that one. So we're gonna do it right here on Land Academy. Perfect. Thank you, Erin. She's going to add it there too. Heartland FAQ. There it is.
Here it is.
Awesome. Oh, it's awesome. It tells you all kinds of good stuff there. There you
And
go.
they're working.
Getting
The Heartland
started.
team is actually working to put together a way for you if you have an account to add a button to LandPin and everywhere else to your own website. Yeah, I'm seeing Kyler here piped in on this credit card thing about Stripe. I know that that's the case. You have to be really careful with Stripe. If they find out they do not like real estate on Stripe, so they will freeze your account. She said hers got frozen.
Who said that?
Kyler here in the chat
Oh,
for 90 days.
yeah. Oh, shucks.
So
yeah, there's a reason to get off there right now. Okay, good. That's awesome.
If you fill out the form, if you go to Land Investors and you fill out the form, it doesn't cost anything. The guy there, his name's Shay, right here. It says Joe Pay. Click there. Fill this form out. It goes into the back end of Heartland, and they'll get with you and really assess your personal situation and make it all available to you. But I tell you, it's like anything else. Once you start down the path, the sooner you start down the path, the better. I think it costs like $80 a month to get going on it.
Yeah, I'll tell you right here. Mark Sharp talked to them today. $85 a month until your run rate is more than 48,000 a year. So, and I think there's different levels too, depending on how
it
fast
goes down
and
from
your
that
history and all that.
If you read the FAQ, it's all in there.
There's a lot there. So cool. Okay, so Luke Smith is asking, does $550 for TitleMind include affidavits and death certificates and all kinds of weird deals? I did one this morning that I would love to have paid $550 to solve on $1,000 deal. Everyone died, but still a good deal.
The answer is yes, within reason. But I'll tell you, we're going to reserve the right if every single one of the transactions is complicated, then we may make some changes. But that price is meant to include easy deals and hard deals for our staff. We don't just expect easy deals, but we don't just expect hard deals either.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to have to do estate planning though, Luke? Because you know the difference. There's estate planning, which Joe has done, and I've done. And then there's filing a death certificate and affidavits. Those are different.
Right.
Are we going to do estate planning? No.
Exactly. Luke also asked, did you ever do a deal where you know the title is cloudy, but all the family wants it sold and signed off? I paid and then found out there is a problem. Got a quick claim on everyone that might have a say in it. Thinking I sell it, disclosing the problem at a really good price. Am I crazy? End user can use it, but not sell it through title very easily.
If it's a smoking deal and you're not talking about hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, I've done that. I've done exactly what you've done.
Mm-hmm. So
but you have to ask yourself, Luke, tomorrow when you open the mail, are there going to be more deals there? I bet there are for you.
Good point. That's always the question I ask myself.
Me too.
And I find myself doing that in a lot of other things, like, this child might be a better gamble. Just kidding. Just kidding. Totally kidding. I'm gonna get in trouble now.
We did we had Trevor Proban, who's been a longtime member, one of the funniest people I've ever talked to on the phone ever, on our podcast, which the release date's not this week, next week, but the week after.
Yeah.
And he brought up Luke, and he said, just send more mail out. Because I was asking him all these questions, and he said, well, like Luke says, just send more mail. Right. If you just send more mail, and then I use a fishing analogy that went like this. If you go out fishing and you don't catch anything, do you blame fishing? Or do you say, you know what, next time I'm going to put a few more lines in the water. I'm going to put the boat in a different spot. Maybe I'll add some electronics. Maybe if I get that desperate and I really want to win, I'll get in the water with a spear gun.
Oh my gosh.
So then,
or do it at night with a flashlight.
Right. Exactly. Well done.
Thank you.
Exactly. I didn't know you knew about that.
Yes.
So, you don't blame fishing. You don't say fishing doesn't work. You adjust.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you take the boat out further in the colder water.
I've gone fishing before.
I know.
Okay. All right. JT is asking, in closing a double close through TitleMind, the end buyer is funding the entire deal, original purchase price plus my profit to the investor. Do they wire the money into TitleMind's escrow account?
No. Not yet. Our license, we're days away from getting our escrow license, and then that will happen. So right now it's all paper checks that do not get deposited because we're not licensed escrow yet. But that's happening soon here.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you know what, Luke, Luke added where Trevor is right now to all of us. Luke, he pulled over to do this call with
In
us
Deming,
today.
New Mexico, of all places.
Exactly. That's where he was. It was so funny.
I don't know how Trevor swung this. Every year he leaves for a week and a half.
Yeah.
For a week and a half by himself to go bow hunting in Arizona. And he's got 2 little kids.
Jack, if you want to leave for 10 days,
listen to this.
I'm just kidding.
How about tonight?
And be like off the grid, like no communication.
You know what, Jill? How about I leave tonight for you? How's that sound?
Just kidding.
I'm
you
gonna leave. You and that comedy thing. Don't you enjoy each other's company?
Don't think that you wouldn't mind if I was gone for 10 days. Let's be honest here. Come on.
I actually would
it's
worry
all good.
about
I know.
Your illness.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Not
all right, we're kidding. I know. All right, so with little kids, that is hard. That's true. Greg asks, I've heard the term many times, but since I'm new to the real estate world, I need some clarification on the difference between a hard money lender and a mortgage, especially since you said heck no a couple of times.
Hard money. So there's a guy, there's somewhere right now, there's a guy sitting around in your neighborhood in his home office, and he's talking to people who flip houses all day long. That's all he does. He's either using, the money he inherited from his grandmother. Here's how it works. Greg Bayless finds a property he wants to renovate and flip. He doesn't want to go get a mortgage because he knows he's only going to own it for 6 months if everything, 6 months if it goes well. The purchase price is $100,000. So he goes to the mafioso-like hard money lender. And the guy says, $100,000 sounds great. I will lend you $60,000 if you can come up with 40 on your own. And then I want you to pay me back the 60 when you sell it. After you sell it, I want 10%. I want you to pay $60,000 back and plus 6,000. And by the way, if that all works great, please call me first again. So if you have an experienced relationship with a hard money lender, then it's not my first choice. Cash is always my first choice, but it's way better than a mortgage. A mortgage is when you go to Bank of America and you sit down with a 22-year-old girl this is the first time she's ever done it, and she's overdressed, and she's trying to get a promotion to be a teller.
What color's her hair?
Dark.
Her nails like bright red.
Her nails are her nails. I'll leave it to your imagination.
Oh no.
She's not sure if she wants a husband yet.
Oh no.
Her friends are all getting married. That concerns her a little bit.
Oh no.
So your mortgage for this house is not the first thing on her mind. That's my point. Unlike the hard money lender. How's that vacation sounding now?
That's great. I'm not that you need to. I'm ready to go.
Mortgage.
I'm taking 10 days off.
Is a big bank where you go and you fill out a bunch of stuff and they look at your credit report and they do all kinds of stuff. It's the worst kind of way. It sinks the ship in a lot of cases. So, I mean, for your house, primary residence, there's arguments on for both sides of that, but that's not how you buy investment property that we have here. Mm-hmm. That's the difference.
Yep. Thank you.
And it takes like a month.
I'm sorry. These little comments on the right are cracking me up. So Michael's saying, I told the folks that they're on the title with a dead person and he has no children. And if anyone were to put a claim on the property, invite him over for a glass of iced tea and talk about it.
That's outstanding.
That's great.
I love real world problem solving.
This is good. And Luke said, I got the kids to quick claim it over and the wife to deed it over. This is awesome. This is so good. So good. Okay.
I went to a tax sale in Deming once. This is a lot of years ago. With Park McCluskey was there, and we purchased with a bunch of other people, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of properties for like $50 each. And that wasn't enough.
Right.
Then we sat down with a real estate agent there and bought a bunch of ranch property for like off the MLS for like $50 an acre. That was before Jill's time.
Well, there was one, I think I remember we were there. We kind of stood there at the end and divided them up. Was that the one?
I don't think you've ever been at Deming. No.
Oh, not Deming. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking of a different one.
Deming's in Luna County, New Mexico.
Okay, yeah. I was thinking of a different one. That's cool. Yep. Hey, Dan, this is good stuff. Dan Wyman says, hey, Jack and Jill, his first deal was July 15th. His 35th deal was November 12th.
Oh my gosh.
How cool is that? He said, thank you both. You changed lives. And then he's walking his dog.
You know, I have to say a lot about Dan because Dan really struggled in the beginning with his general computer proficiency, and our staff really helped him out. There were a lot of words in between, but we did help him out. That's the same person, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
Awesome. Yep.
If Dan can do it, just about anybody can,
Yeah.
except for that teller at Bank of America. She can't do it.
Silly. Got it. Do you want to look at a deal here? Christian has.
Yeah, sure.
Christian says, would you do this deal? 1 acre, Cibola County, New Mexico. APN. That's one of the owner numbers. Owner wants $400. Thinking I could resell it around. Well, this is one of those I don't have a hard time with too. The owner wants $400 no matter what, and it's an acre. Let's already think about this here. Thinking I could resell it for around $1,000 to $1,500, but it's a pretty ugly property with a road running through it. Well, that's called access. I know it's a small deal, but
Oh, good. It's not just me that Jill's a little frustrated.
No, I'm like, that's good. But your thoughts are appreciated. You know, one of those, if I could, this is one of those I really have to say, for $400, if I eat it, I'm okay with that. It stays on my website for a little while. I don't mind. Maybe I give it to somebody that they're unhappy about something, and I say, hey, tell you what, I'll give you a property to make up for it, and you give them that one. I mean, there's a lot of things I could do with a $400 property. So, what do you have to say?
I'm looking up just because I love to use Parcel Fact.
Okay.
There's a city there called Grants, New Mexico. I did this is how I learned to do release deals in Grants.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's in this little subdivision, Pine Tree subdivision, you're gonna have to get off the. Okay, so this is interesting. I'm glad we did this, Jill. Take a look at this property, or can you see it?
What?
For $400.
That's a run to the bank for me.
I think it's a run to the bank thing also. I would this is strange, so I would confirm you need to get off this call and run to the bank.
Something doesn't seem.
I hope that this
like that's too cheap.
I hope this is real.
Show me again the size under the property area.
1 acre.
1 acre. It's right at 4356.
Yeah.
That's I've never seen that exactly.
I'm going to pull this off. Please run to the bank.
Yeah.
On that.
I'm closing.
Please make sure there's no liens. You're welcome to use TitleMind. We'll close it for you real fast if you'd like. In fact, I would use TitleMind because you're going to make bank on that property.
Michael said, I think I see lava on it. Just kidding. No.
Anytime you pull up a property that smacks you in the face like that, and there's stuff all around it, and you could sell it to people next door, and it's just that you want to. It's fantastic real estate.
Yeah.
That's why we do this.
Mm-hmm.
That is lava, Michael. They're all throughout New Mexico. Along there is lava everywhere.
Black stuff, yeah.
The kids got out of the car one time and collected lava rocks once, a long time ago, and then for the next 150 miles there was lava everywhere, and turns out we didn't need those rocks.
No.
Jill's reading.
Yep. Luke said he already paid for that messy one, whatever it was. He already did it.
Yeah, I would have done that deal.
Yeah,
I think it's all right.
Exactly.
You can this IRA deal you can put up there, Jill, if you want.
Okay.
Thomas says, if doing deals inside a Roth IRA, how do you treat all expenses associated with those deals? Boy, you don't have enough consulting money for me to answer that. No. The answer is, the last time I looked at a Roth IRA funded real estate transaction was probably 12 years ago. So I honestly cannot, with any confidence, because I'm sure that my advice is outdated. Those tax questions everybody's got a different, I got out of accounting for a reason. Let's put it that way.
I hear so many different things from different people too. That's the hard one. My accountant says this and so-and-so's accountant says that. So
accountants are in general are like plumbers or contractors. Okay. They get in your house, a contractor gets in your house, you call him to clean the drain. And he says, Jill, your drain's clean. Thanks for the $150. But I'll tell you, If you want to snake everything out, you probably will save a bunch of time and money and energy because this thing might blow.
Mm-hmm.
And then the snaking gets done, and he says, by the way, while I was in there, it'd be good if you replaced all the drainage. And on. Accountants are no different than that. Once they get in, they would love to tell you that you need to file 50 LLCs all over the country. They would love for you, and then file 50 state tax returns. They would love that.
Okay,
So you have to be real careful.
Thank you. Matt Rogers asks, my seller really wants to sell, but the deed says deceased dad's name plus heirs. Seller says she's the only heir. Heirship of affidavit and death certificate? Would this have to go through probate? Pass. There's a 4 to 5 time return.
If this is the first time you've dealt with a transaction like this, I would heavily recommend that you look into it as if you were going to try to close it. And all the rules that you just brought up there are extremely state specific. In California, it's not real hard to do a deal like you just described. In Arizona, it's cost prohibitive and nearly impossible. And then there's 48 other rules based on states. So, but I'll tell you, we have one person in this group who joined us a long time ago who ran into this exact problem in a state, and they spent the next 2 months of their lives.
Yeah, it was 2 guys that started working together.
Getting to the bottom of it. Remember that?
I do.
And
2 of our guys, they said this is just going to be our thing because no one else can do
that's their business. Because no one else in that state can apparently do this. So they are buying every single property. They went off the radar.
Sought them out.
Those guys they're killing it.
Yeah, that came their thing. Bob asks, when sending mailers for SFRs, single family residences, do you really purchase or assign?
We do not purchase the property. We literally get the mail back, and then our people that we've already having a relationship with, the people who are going to renovate the houses or do whatever they're going to do with them, they go out and look at the house and they say yep or nope. And then they open escrow, they buy the property, and they pay us right out of that escrow at the agreed upon fee.
Perfect.
Technically, is it an assign? We don't even go there. I guess it is an assign because they do sign a purchase agreement. Mm-hmm. Not once as the seller said, you assign that contract.
Nobody cares.
I'm not going to sell it to you. Why is the LLC name that you're buying this property with different than the purchase agriement name? That makes me uncomfortable.
I want the money from. No, they don't care.
Has anybody ever said anything like
hilarious? That? Nope. They don't even notice.
They want the money, man.
They just want the check. They don't even notice where it came from. It's not like it's a difference. No one even says anything. Eric asks, researching area for the first SFR mailing. Area has an average days on market of 27 and is considered a warm/seller's market. $750,000 average price. What percentage of ARV would you suggest starting at for this type of market? I realize one laser guided offer. This is good.
Oh,
I like that. I like the way you say that. Correctly priced, could find a situation, but 50 to 60% of ARV may not be enough here.
It's not.
As more and more SFR offers have been sent out, have you found any kind of relationship between the average days on market and offer pricing percentage of ARV that you can share? Thank you.
This is the kind of crap I live for.
What a great question. Thank you.
I live for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't typically play the ARV game. ARV, for those who don't know, is the price, I don't know what the acronym stands for. It's something value, but what it means is the price of the property after it's all cleaned up, done, renovated, and nuclear family X is going to move in and the kids are going to choose their bedrooms. That it's turnkey property.
Right.
So we're at the beginning of that, and the nuclear family X is at the end of that. So
it's after repair value.
After repair value.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not like it's a big fancy term. So no, seriously, it's not like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
I do.
It's not like it's a percentage or something big. It's just, yeah.
Feels a little hissy today.
What? Seriously? Am I really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
60% of ARV if ARV is 700. Can you cover for me while I type, Joe?
Should I sing?
Yeah, no, don't do that.
That would be so funny.
60% of ARV is a low number.
60% of after ARV. Yeah, because ARV is the end.
So you have to ask yourself, what do you want to make on this thing?
That's what we do, and work it backwards. And what's going to
And
sing to everybody?
yeah, not
So that's
percentage, but dollars. You have $300,000 is too much of a spread on a house. I've never made more than $100,000 on a SFR deal. On large
yeah.
ranch deals, we have, but on SFR deals, I think for the service you're providing, in the end, you're going to start to upset people.
Well, think about it like this way too. Yeah. So if ARV is
See
$750,000.
what I'm doing here? I'm
I'm
working
working
it,
it
working
backwards.
it backwards.
I want my guy's gonna be happy making $100,000, maybe $150,000. Now we're at 600. That's not. So I want to make maybe $50,000 on it. Maybe not that
50 to
much.
100.
Yeah.
You don't want to make 250.
No. So I want to come in at now we're at what? So you're at 70% ARV?
70. Darn. Hold on here. As everybody starts to throw up because they're on their phone looking at this thing.
We're all driving, watching this screen popping around. Just kidding. Don't do that because especially states don't do that. A, it's dangerous, and B, states are getting really cracking down on
Yeah.
it. In a good, and I'm glad.
On a $750,000 housing market, I would go out at somewhere below 600, and I would try maybe a little bit less.
So 70 or so percent ARV. That's not bad. 75%.
Yeah, like 500 to 550, and expect some pretty nasty houses coming back. Because then because ARV, all of our guys do, they don't shoot for ARV, man. They clean the house up, but good. And they would go out, charge 950 and get a cash buyer where the house is it's got
Gorgeous.
marble and stuff.
Right.
So 550 to 560 is probably where I would go out. But again, this is how we price stuff. I wish there was some algorithm where you could just plug it in and say, this is what we'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Days on market. Jill and I talked about days on market on all the shows today a lot. Days on market's really a big issue here. If you know you can sell a property in less than 30 days, every single property that comes up in the market was selling for, 30 to 45 days, every single one. There's no outliers. Then I would thin out the margin a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I would make a lot less because then I'd send a ton of mail out. I would Luke Smith the thing.
Yeah. I like Tomas's thing. He said the ARV doesn't mean anything. Every rehabber has his own cost figured out, kind of thing. They do. They have their own formulas.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good point, Tomas. What do they want? That's a really good thing. And that's usually what they do. If I had X more of these properties priced like this is what I could do.
They all
And now
say
you
that
know
too.
what to work with. Exactly.
What you want, that's exactly right, Jill. You
Mhm.
want whoever you're working with to come back and say, well, where the hell have you been my whole life? This is
Right.
great. I don't have to deal with the realtor.
Right.
You just feed me these deals like this?
Right. I'll pay up
How many more can
to
you
this number if you can find me this, and this.
So I know you made
Okay.
80,000 on this house, but how about if you make 25 or 30 on the next 10?
Right.
And I'll guarantee you I'll buy 10. You want to have that conversation, and now you're in business.
Right.
You can clear a couple $1,000,000 a year
Exactly.
on one guy like that.
Yep. Kathleen R asks, if this is the Kathleen R I'm thinking of, hello, I have your email and I will get back to you soon. So thank you. So hi, I recently joined and I'm excited to be part of the Land Academy community. I would welcome discussion about pictures for marketing rural vacant land. Is it common to hire someone to go take pictures of every property purchased and post online for the specific property, even if lower acreage and price? What are the pros and cons of general area picture instead of a specific property for a smaller property or picture like less than 5 acres? We actually, Kathleen, these are all good questions, and I think there is actually a section in our program that talks about this, and Jack really goes into great detail about what makes good pictures, what are good pictures and good angles, and like no snow, which I learned the hard way.
There's tens of thousands of pictures, by the way, included in the cash flow from land program
that you can use
for properties west of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
And they're all sorted by APN, state county APN.
Exactly.
So that should save you some time.
The other thing is a lot of our members have shared a lot of experiences on this in our online community about the times that they've used photographers and when they didn't use them, and even information about photographers and how to get them.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the things Luke's known to do is when people go out and check out his properties, I mean, he'll ask them to take a few pictures and just send it back to him. Even if they're not going to buy it, hey, would you mind right now on your phone send me a couple pictures? I mean, none of this is crazy. So that's really, really good stuff. Does it matter if the pictures are not a specific property? Not at all. As long as you tell them that. And that's what we do, Kathleen. We'll say these are pictures of the area, but nowadays, I mean, with the Google Maps and the Earth and
Yeah,
everything that we
Google
can do,
Maps.
I can get right in there. I
You can
can
see
really
the
show the
property with Google
property.
Maps.
So good questions.
And then a street view, if it's not super rural, or you can get anywhere close, usually within a mile, you can see what the terrain's like and stuff. There's a lot of easy ways to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, some of the most successful members in this group who sell higher margin properties where they buy them for 50 or 60 or 70,000 and sell them for a couple of hundred, they hire a drone person and they
Mm-hmm.
really make a big deal out of marketing. If you're brand new at this, I wouldn't do that out of the gate. But everybody's got their own thing. I'm not a big marketing person, and I don't think Jill is either. We're more of a find a person who knows what an APN is and how to look up a property, and then make us an offer quickly.
Right.
You know.
That's true. We've really transitioned more to a lot more wholesale
Yeah.
deals, and we don't need to do that.
Yeah.
But in the past, have we done that? Oh yeah.
Right.
And all that good stuff. So absolutely. But in everything, just disclose everything. If it's of the area, whatever, all that good stuff.
I can't
So,
impress this enough.
mm-hmm.
Go to landinvestors.com.
Yep.
Make sure you're all set up there. I'm sure our people have you set up there. If she did she join?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you have a pro user account there.
Mm-hmm.
And then ask these questions. Ask a million questions. What do you guys do for this? Do you have a person in this county? I mean, it's a pretty large community now. There's thousands and thousands of people that were right in your shoes 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Or 8 months ago, or a year ago. Like Dan Wyman's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Dan really struggled in the beginning, and I'm really proud of him. He's obviously made this work.
Totally. We even said, I love your little note here, what he said. My daughter says I'm Fred Flintstone living in a George Jetson world, but I'm getting there. Dan, you did it. You're obviously doing it. We know it's great.
It's hilarious.
Tori brought this up today when we were talking to him. Was it
Trevor?
Not Tori, Trevor, sorry. That where else do you have 50 to 200 mentors right there available at your fingertips
for free?
And that's what you have in landinvestors.com, our thing.
And a bunch of people lurking around in there ready to give you money.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Exactly. Jason asks, I just got my first option signed. This is awesome. $30,000 for 120 acres in Wyoming.
I love Wyoming.
That I will list for $90,000.
You need to get together with Kyria. Kyria just did a bunch of deals, or is doing deals in Wyoming, and I know she's got a bunch of buyers in her back pocket.
Awesome.
She's a member if you go to Land Investors.
Seller is an 87-year-old man who also has 320 acres for me if this deal goes well. My question is, do I need to pick up my jaw off the floor and get used to this?
Yes.
Yes. Or is this, I have a lot to say.
Oh, it's not beginner.
Or is this beginner's luck?
No.
My gratitude to J&J is off the Richter scale right now. Thanks, guys.
Go ahead, Joe.
Jason, I used to say that. Jack remembers me. I'm like, okay, that's it. I will never have another deal like this again. Can't believe it. Okay, 2016, and just like January 2016, right? I'm like, well, the year's set. That's it, done. I'm not going to do this again. And then, oh my gosh, here comes another one. Like, what just happened? So I hate, you know what, Jason? Hang on, because this is like a home run for you. But watch, there's going to be another one.
I have to be incredibly direct and honest and straightforward here. Until just recently, I stopped having that feeling myself.
Really?
Yeah, like how can this ever be better? Well, look at this deal. We put maybe 45 minutes into this thing, and we're collecting a check for a 6-digit check.
But you're saying you don't feel like that anymore?
I'm just now starting to tell myself, or really accept the fact that this is not. It's going to go on forever.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And I didn't think it would stop and halt and it would be over and I'd have to go back to being an accountant. I never thought that. You just look at the deal and you're like, if it's that easy to make $150,000 on a ranch deal, when's that going to happen again? And then it happens 3 weeks later for us now.
Well, Jack, here's what I think, because the data's getting better and we're getting better. I mean, let's be honest here. We're all going into bigger and better and more awesome deals.
Right.
So there's just so much out there. You guys, a year from now, we're going to be talking about Luke Smith buying a hotel, or something crazy, or we're buying who knows what. we bought a resort, or you never know. It's awesome.
Right.
So thank you, Jason. Christian asks, mind taking another look at the property? I'm agreeing with you, Jack, is what I'm saying.
I know.
Okay. Mind taking another look at this property in
I'm
Grants?
afraid of you right now.
What?
I'm just a little afraid of you.
Why? That was positive.
No, super positive. You're just all, you're a little hissy.
Oh, am I?
Yeah, I don't want to upset you.
Oh,
I'm just smiling and waving here.
I'm sorry. I didn't know I was doing that. I apologize. All right. Sorry. Okay. Christian asks, will you look at this, please, Jack?
Yeah.
Okay. There's the like the owner number / APN.
Okay. Here's the thing, Christian. I can put this up on the screen again, but when this is over, our producer is going to put this on a YouTube, and about 6 million people are going to look at it. So let's not share it with the world.
Okay.
Unless it's a different property. Oh, it's another property. Yes, I'm happy to look at another property.
It is a different property.
Oh, there it is. I looked it up, put it up again.
You're so.
Yes, I'm happy to. Jill's going to cover for me while I look it up here.
All right. Callie asks, good stuff. I've been selling off my inventory in preparation for integrating a CRM. I had one last straggler that sold today. I'm out of inventory. Problems I can live with.
Nice.
That is awesome. Isn't that funny how that happens? It's like, oh my gosh, this is so good, Callie, because
Jesus.
now I don't know if this happened for you, but there's, for a lot of us, when we're new, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm staring at all these properties out. What am I going to do? How am I going to sell all these? And here's Callie going, well, I'm out of inventory. Shucks, now I got to go buy something.
Mm-hmm.
This is so good. And before you realize it, you've sold all your inventory. There you go. Wow.
All right, so here's what I do on these properties. So it looks really good. It's got road access. It actually looks like it's somebody's dream property.
I think it's cool.
I'm going to pull the first
GPS coordinate. It's going to pop it into Google Earth.
Google Earth to see what the slope is. If there's a road there, though, it looks pretty good.
Look at the house right south of it. Look at all those houses. Oh.
What do you think's on the top here, Joe? Is it a lake?
What is that?
Is it like a mesa?
Dry something?
Yeah, there's no real slope issues
here.
here.
Get down in there. Get down in there. There's like a big crevice. Like over here. Isn't that kind of cool? Like, that looks interesting. And then it goes to flat.
Oh, yeah.
Look at all these houses.
It's like a ridge. It's a mesa. Yeah, I would jump.
And then no one's going to be over there.
I would see what the value of these houses are. This is a movie star ranch situation. Seriously, I would run to the. Good for you on this.
40 acres total, all like this one. $400 an acre, and we'll only sell if all are bought. I'm good with that. Don't have to this kind of cash, but would like to pass it off and partner if a good deal and someone wants to take it on.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, look at that.
This is so interesting.
Wow,
what? I bought
that's wild.
A ton of property all through here. Somebody was asking about the volcano. Here it is. And it was like during prehistoric times. It's not literally prehistoric. It's not anytime recent.
Oh, I think that's just cool.
Can I say kick ass? I can't say it on that podcast.
You can say it here, I think.
I love it.
That's great, Christian. Good stuff. Matt is asking, on the purchase agreements we send out to sellers, should we add a clause allowing us to sign the agreement so we don't have to go back again and ask if they're interested in an option?
Yeah, so if you use our agreement, there's an assignment tucked in there. It says we have the right to assign this to anyone for any reason.
Cool. And I think that's it.
Is that it?
I think that's it.
I hope we answered all the questions.
I think we did. I hope we did. You're hilarious. Love it.
We are Jack and Jill. You already know that. We will be here. We will not be here the next week.
Next Thursday, Thanksgiving, everyone. So, yay! Have a great, happy Thanksgiving and safe travels, and enjoy the family and the food and the football.
And expect a much more clear TitleMind early next week on what you get for your money.
Cool.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.